Welcome to the
Baking It Down
podcast
with the twins.
Should get into jingles. I think they're the future. If you're wondering why my voice sounds so sensual today, it's because I have a sinus infection in a climate that you're not allowed to have a sinus infection. What, Dr.
You don't
Corey?
sound
I didn't
good.
see you walk in here with your prognosis.
Heather's got a cold. Corey does not. It's not.
Just kidding. I'm allergic, and Corey's cat is over here, Fuzz Aldrin, getting defuzzed. Throwing me for a loop. I'm opening a fizzy water. Excuse me.
You should have done. That sounded refreshing.
Ah.
We should put that in our jingle.
Call us. Was the
Doublemint twins.
Singing Justin Bieber, but okay.
Well, welcome to the Baking It Down podcast with Sugar Cookie Marketing. We are actually a group on Facebook, about almost 35,000 strong. Yes, I've been back to work. I have internet access at home now. We are 35,000 bakers strong, and it's people who are wanting to grow their business, whether they're just starting out in the industry or, all the way up to brick and mortars. We love everyone and everybody. So if you don't know we have a group, we invite you to answer the little questions.
But put podcast in there because I think it moves you the
it shoots you right in there.
Don't not answer the questions because it's crazy. Just so you guys know that Facebook is forcing us on June 14th to turn on Admin Assist. It is no longer optional. Curious which ones they will turn on, but Admin Assist is a feature in Facebook groups that does some automation. So if you don't answer the questions, you don't get accepted, or if you don't have a profile picture, or if your profile is less than 3 months old,
or
Facebook can automate.
Yeah, it's so crazy what they will delete if you have a phone number. But I thought it was like 703, blah, blah, blah. No, it's if you have enough digits in the post that equal a phone number, it'll delete it.
In the defense of Facebook, there is a lot of spam that goes on in groups. There are a lot of scripts that can run through and put in a lot of these just spam posts. Granted, you guys don't see it in Sugar Cookie Marketing group because Corey and Amy and Courtney are constantly deleting. I'm sleeping. I'm definitely not seeing any of it. But Facebook said because we don't have post approval turned on, it's going to turn on these Admin Assist features that we've had disabled this whole time.
So if your post is deleted, look to Heather.
I will be looking at Facebook.
But welcome to the Baking It Down podcast. Heather, we're tuning in for the first time because I've welcomed them now 3 times.
Yeah, welcome guys to the Sugar Cookie Marketing podcast.
What are they in for?
You're in for the time of your life. So buckle up, kids, because we're about to welcome to the... Anyways, what we like to talk about is, like Corey mentioned the third time, things that really help move your business forward. If they're derived from content or topics in the group, or if they're real life experiences, we can all learn something to better our business, which happens to be the topic that Corey wants to talk about today, oil changes. So
I need an oil
Corey
change.
needed an oil change, and she wanted to go by word of mouth, right? Recommendations?
Yes. So I went into a local group and says, is there any auto shop that we swear
Which
by?
shows you the power of local groups. Despite all the advertisements you see, you still went to see word of mouth, which word of mouth is one of the strongest referral sources in marketing. But it's also one of the hardest to manufacture because there's no faking it.
Yeah.
I can't run an ad and get a word of mouth recommendation.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you're hoping like the people who are using you are the type of people that are loud enough to recommend you.
Right. So it's funny because my cousin, he runs like a detailing service, and a lady that he had washed her car, was very dirty, didn't tip him, but said, I will write about you in a local group. And I said, almost that is worth more money than a tip.
Absolutely.
Because the strong conversion.
And how many people you could get in on that one referral.
So in Corey's thread, it was one business overwhelmingly recommended. The business had been serving the area for 55 years. Mm-hmm. So it was well vetted. And you said a majority of the people were pointing you in that direction.
It was almost 50-50 with this newer company that's been around for only 4 years and then this 55-year-old company.
So it's easy to see as a consumer, if you had to choose between the two, knowing nothing more than the recommendations in front of you, probably the older company is a better bet. It's been around so long, they must be doing something right.
Which stood the test of time.
Where you headed.
In my mind. Yeah. So
website says.
Website is a little bit older. Mm-hmm. Which is fine. It says we do not take appointments on the phone. Oh, we do not take appointments online. You have to call.
But also gave the option for walk-in.
Also said walk in if you need it.
Corey, not to be told no over the phone, shows up at their...
One, you have to remember, I hate talking on the phone. And I feel like there's other people out there like me.
I'll say when given the option for a forum or a phone call, like a form submission,
To fill out?
I'll do an online form.
Yes. Versus
Yeah. I'd
calling
rather
somebody.
not call.
I don't want to chit chat.
Yeah.
Things to do.
So anyway, so Corey, you drive out there to go get just a simple oil change.
I did. I parked the car, put on my big girl pants, walked on in, and a very nice lady was sitting behind the counter. Hi. And I
Was
said,
the building older?
very.
Does it match the website?
Yes. It's
So,
been around for 55
Lack
years.
of branding. No increase in the aesthetic. No investment in the aesthetic.
No. The sign was probably from the 50s.
So everything was from the original date. So
Yes.
they've never reinvested into the customer experience.
No. So
But it doesn't matter because they're highly recommended. So
yeah, so
must be
I
something
was
to it.
going to be fine. So when I walk into the seating area,
Mm-hmm.
there is only 2 seats. It's not inviting. So in my mind, I'm like, this might not go my way. I don't know if they want people to sit here for a while.
Which is a guarantee. Typically, when you go in for an oil change, you don't have someone picking you up. You will be waiting.
Yeah. So I go and she's like, hey, how can I help you? His is like, hey, I just wanted to see if I could stop in for a quick oil change today.
Because the website said you could.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you wouldn't have. If the website didn't say walk-ins welcome.
Yes. And I know oil change isn't the biggest moneymaker. I totally understand that. So she said, only way we could do it is if you left it till the end of the day, maybe even into tomorrow.
Which there's no other car outside, so odds are you were there.
And I
Right?
said, oh, I don't think I can do that. I'll have to walk home, and it's pretty far.
The person was very cordial.
They were
very
very nice,
very
very nice.
inviting. But the space wasn't inviting, and then their website was misleading.
Yes. And then so now they can't do my oil change. And I said, oh, what would be the best way to get an oil change with you guys? Because they are very well recommended. So I did really honestly want to use them. And she's like, you're going to want to call. I'm standing right here.
Right. So she could have booked you right there, but she's making you
Do an
call.
extra step.
Right.
And I was
Longer
like,
funnel.
oh, I said, just call to make an appointment. And she's like, yeah, definitely when you call in, we won't have anything for this week. And then she went back to typing on the computer. So I thought, oh, okay. I thought, okay, well, thank you for your time.
Okay.
I'm going to go out. And I got into my car, got onto the competitor's website, literally 10 minutes
Because
away.
there's 2 recommendations in the comments.
And yeah, and they are each other's competitors, which is
Okay.
totally fine. Got onto their
The
website.
4-year-old company.
Yes, the brand
Okay.
newer one. Got onto their website. There was a form right there. It said, if you need to schedule today in the next 2 hours, just give us a call, or you can schedule any single time. And not one date was closed off, except
Okay.
for, I think they're closed on Sundays.
Yeah.
So I scheduled it for tomorrow morning. It says, your date has been accepted. We'll only reach
Immediately.
out to you if something is wrong with the appointment.
Expectations then.
Yeah.
Did you go?
I'm going tomorrow morning.
Does the waiting, is it a new building?
It's a new building.
Was the website updated?
Yeah.
Wow.
All the reviews are responded to.
So Corey said both of them had equal amount of reviews, but she brings up a good point. We were talking about this over lunch. The one company's been around for 55 years. The other company only for 4. Google business profiles have been around for about almost 5 or 6 years at this point. So how could a company with 55-year track record and a 55-year book of business still have the same amount of reviews of the company with only 4 years? Wouldn't there be a huge separation, a newer company having fewer reviews? But that newer company must be doing so well and marketing so effectively and doing a great customer experience and maybe incentivized reviews that a company in the 55-year-old company never applied to review.
No, it's almost like they didn't have their Google My Business profile
Claimed. And the company that you ended up going with has replied to every review. Now, you
Yes.
said at lunch that there was a 1-star review for the new
1-star
company.
review with one word, expensive. So, of course, I'm one to go to the bad reviews first. Let me see what I'm in for. I could be the next 1-star review.
Expensive.
But it was almost like the way we write is the way that this business owner wrote. Because he's like, hey, Liz, we actually don't have any record of your name in our files. But if you had any sort of bad experience, we would love the opportunity to fix it with you. Here's my direct phone number.
Wow.
I said, whoa.
Validated, but still stood firm that he wasn't, the person may have not been a client, so there was no way for him to even reach out to her to address the issue. But please reach out to me.
Yeah, to make it right. So to me, that was not even a bad review, obviously, because I've scheduled to go with them. But what we were talking about is complacency is easy. Complacency works until
Competition.
competition
That's
comes
why
in.
competition it sounds so bad. There's a competitor, my competitor. They're stealing money off my table. The competition keeps the service industry or the product industry sharp.
Yes.
Because the 55-year-old company has clearly begun to rest on its laurels a bit. And now this new 4-year-old company is taking market share because it was a profitable business. I mean, it's a profitable industry. Competition only exists where there is money to sustain.
Yeah.
So when you see somebody say you're the only baker in your town, your city, awesome. Wow, you have a captive audience. It's easy to start saying, well, no, I don't want your order, or yeah, no, I don't like this design. I'm not going to take it. Cool. It's fine. But what happens is somebody else is going to say, hey, there's opportunity here. This baker can turn down orders. This baker can get kind of sloppy.
Whether also if maybe the baker that's been there that has, gone complacent has always taken orders via messenger. So it's a lot of back and forth, but the newer baker comes and maybe they have a cast iron website or they have a job form. Something just a little bit makes it just a tinge bit easier for the consumer.
Yeah, let's say the original baker could perhaps say, only take it Venmo, don't do friends and make it friends and family. I don't want to lose my fee. Okay, technically, when a baker does that, when it's technically evading taxes, but secondly, you're putting your consumer, your client, on the hook if something goes wrong.
At risk, they can't get their money back.
There's no coverage on Venmo when you put it as friends and family. Don paid me the other day and marked it as goods and services.
Did you say
we're here? I said, because there's $6 missing from this fee.
What did he say?
I'm sorry. I just thought it was a good in service.
Okay, for you. You're not a friend and family.
Let's keep our money in our pocket.
But no, that's a great point. So a lot of times I will see some people in the group say, I've always done it this way. I don't collect payment up front because it's always worked for me that way. It works until it doesn't work. It works until someone maybe comes and does it better. It works until someone comes and burns you and doesn't pay.
So let's say, okay, you had this, you had your town in a chokehold and you are the only supplier of delicious cookies and somebody comes in. The baker has two options to, I guess three options. You could be angry and then run a sugar cookie marketing group with event thread that I got it late. Or you could say, okay, I hate that person, but I'm not going to change anything. But in the law of economics, what you should do is start sharpening up your offering. Now, back to Corey's oil change saga. Very interesting. Very. Edge of my seat. On the oil change saga, that 55-year-old company should look over at the 4-year-old company and start borrowing ideas that are working. That having a waiting room with only 2 seats means at any given time, they could only service 2 people waiting on their cars.
Yes.
Having a waiting room with a fresh painted interior, where I get my oil change done. Corey and I know we do not live together. We do not get our oil changes done together.
We used to.
They have a charging station.
Yeah,
they know I'll be there for
a
it.
tablet, which is awesome. That's so catering to someone who has to be there for a minute. What this 55-year-old company did not know is an oil change is not a moneymaker. If anything, it's a money loss. So I think
it's a lead generator.
It is a lead generator because guess what? Nate has to spend about $4,000 on tires, rotors, brakes. His windshield wiper was hanging out by a thread
whatever one of these oil change places you have a great experience at, the company that I've taken my car to for oil change, tire struts, whatever, I started with they serviced my car when somebody else would. That's the only reason I went there. They did an inspection because the car was lowered and nobody else would touch it. Now I've since brought them. You've gone to them. Gams has gone to them. Jen has gone to them. I've gone to them repeated times.
I've recommended them in local groups because I love recommending in local groups.
So this one thing that they took the chance on, the loss leader, and inspection is state governed. I'm not sure if that's in every state, but it's like $16. So they were not making more than $16 off of a very inconvenient car to inspect.
Yeah. But look at the profits you have brought to them. I had a cookie customer that drove 1 hour to get to me. And when she came up, I said, hey, I loved taking your order. But there's about 50 million bakers between me and you who are awesome that I could recommend that could take your order and save you like the $6 gas prices out there.
Yeah.
And she said, you know what? I grow an allegiance to who I like, and I am willing to make that drive for you. So there is so much easier options for her, but you have to realize they don't like change. So if you give me a good experience, if tomorrow's oil change goes without a hitch, they will have my business for as long as I'm living here.
Nate's $4,000.
Yeah, and then if it's so good, I'll run to a local group when someone says looking for an auto shop and be like, hey, I was recommended this specific auto shop in this group. They were amazing. I tried them out for myself.
Right.
And I become this referral leader to these people who were willing to accommodate to
what the other company would.
Yes.
Now, so what's going to happen with the other company is a couple of different options. perhaps a company that's been around for 55 years, the owner has been in this business for 55 years and is looking to retire. That's why they're not reinvesting in the experience of this company. They want to be bought out by one of the chains and cool, done, whatever, that works. What could also happen is that the owner is looking to sell. And to do that, he's going to need to increase his bottom line. Right now, it should be typically hemorrhaging to the other company. That's what typically happens.
Yeah.
So he's going to need to reinvest in that client experience and bring everything up to the 21st century, not backdated to the 55 years ago when it was built. Or otherwise, make no changes and close. That is the other option.
Okay, if you hear that, my cat is called Fuzz Aldrin, and he did get shaved, but he was a giant cloud, and now he is a skeleton.
He's also sitting over there licking his tail.
What's left of it? So if you hear the vacuum, they're cleaning up after him.
So back to the whole customer experience, bringing it back to bakeries. You could say, well, I've always done it this way. My clients know it, and I ain't changing for anything. And somebody comes in with a better user experience, a better website, better product photography, better copy, better reviews, and better responses, and you will lose market share. That is how it is supposed to work. Welcome to the invisible hand of capitalism.
Yeah.
You know, but when you say, okay, somebody has entered the market, awesome. I was kind of resting on my laurels a bit. Let me sharpen up my offerings. Everybody wins.
And the industry becomes so much better in itself. You know, you're accommodating to the 2022 crowd. If they're anyone thing like me, they do not like talking on the phone. I love the ease of 1, 2, 3, click, booked.
I'll say COVID strong-armed a lot of businesses to go online.
It did.
It forced a lot of businesses to log into their Google My Business and claim the profile and update their hours because we were really residing on an online atmosphere to still generate income. So for those of us who are like, well, I like a good old handshake. Well, you haven't been able to shake hands for 2 years. So you had to either adapt or shut down. And those were the options. And a lot of people, a lot of businesses that were relying on older practices had to close because nothing was in place to kind of bring them up to this, whatever they call it, new normal.
I just got my husband a grill for Father's Day, and of course, my bank was like, girl,
You make a card or a cookie that says, I really love you.
Oh, I love that phrase. We'll be using it for Father's Day. You're the grilly best. That doesn't work.
No. You're just grilling me.
My bad. I got that one. Back to the drawing board. I bought my husband a grill, and of course, I've never gone to the Home Depot in my life. So when I bought this grill, of course, online, because I love shopping online, my bank said, girl, that's fraud. You don't like to fix up your home like that.
You've not been to the Deep in a while.
So I got onto my little account and it says order received. But I've said it never charged it because it counted as fraud. So I said, oh gosh, I got to call Home Depot, which I was just going to be like, I was already set up for like to be like frustrated. When I am on the phone and it's not even a person. I haven't gotten that stage. It's still automated. It said, if you would just like to text us. I've never hung up a phone so fast. I texted Home Depot.
Jeez.
The person was like, oh, I thought it was going to be automated. It was automated to a point, and then when I said, like, I need to know if the charge went through, it's like, we're going to send you to a real person.
A real text?
Yes. This real person said, I got this grill. Me and my husband love it.
Jeez.
What? I said, oh my gosh, you just justified this expensive purchase for me. Then I said, hey, I don't know if it went through. And she's like, it didn't go through. Can I do it for you real quick? Instantly. I got that girl.
Because you know what? That funnel got real short real fast.
Oh, yeah. I didn't have to sit on the phone for 5,000
Cancel
hours.
that. Talk to your bank. Try to replace the order. It happens again. You got to do it again. You'll fall out of that and just buy from somewhere else.
Yeah. But now, because Home Depot has that option, they have my attention.
So what does everyone that competes with Home Depot should consider is, hey, maybe we should have a text hotline. Maybe that is a great idea. Let's implement it. Let's test it and see how our clients respond to it. If they have this review that you're talking about now, absolutely. That is something you need to implement and you need to keep around. So same with your cookie business. You see somebody doing something a little bit better, a little bit more interesting, a little bit more unique. That idea, try it in your business. If it performs well, awesome. Your audience has spoken.
I love using local businesses, but I love to enter a business and think, how can this experience I'm having, good or bad, how can I implement this to make my personal business better? Is the waiting room nice? Do I feel like someone talked to me as soon as I walked in? Is my message received? Do I feel that I'm just a number? And those things I want to fix in my own business.
Were your concerns validated or invalidated? Corey and I went to lunch a couple weeks ago, and the waiter, a younger kid, probably in his maybe 20 years old,
I'm still trying to
kind of forgot to bring us any drinks.
Yes.
Like not even alcoholic. It was like a tea and a
water.
Diet Coke and water. And he came back outside, and we didn't want to say like you forgot. So Corey's like, "Hey, do you mind if I get a Diet Coke?" Of course, we'd already ordered it. Now I think at this point this has been twice. Yeah. And he looks and he's like, "Oh my goodness, I can't believe I forgot that again. I'm so sorry." But what he could have also done was, I'm working on it.
Yeah.
But
because he did that, it saved the whole experience for us. I felt almost like, no, man, it's okay. No, I forgot I had a kid. I gotta go pick him up.
Right. Yeah. Right. And it's really that validation. I heard the other day that validating someone doesn't mean you agree with them. It just means you hurt them.
Hey, I love to be at home.
Who wants to be invalidated? I love to be invalidated.
Yeah, give it to me.
Yeah, idiot. What were you thinking?
No, true. And I think a lot of people take validation as I'm wrong and I'm admitting I'm wrong, but it doesn't necessarily mean that.
Yeah, so I can say, hey, you said this the other day. It's not wrong, and I totally hear you, and acknowledge that what they experienced was their experience. Mm-hmm. But there can be two different experiences. Once I had to go to therapy, and I was arguing with my then boyfriend, and she was like, hey, what you guys are saying that happened, even though it sounds completely opposite, it did happen. But he's on the right corner looking at a car accident, and you're on the opposite other side of the corner looking at the car accident. And while you're saying, Heather, the red car was at fault, you saw it, and he's saying the blue car is at fault, I saw it. Both of you are right to an extent. Yeah. But you got to accept that the person on the other side of the road has a different perspective.
When we were in college, it was so funny. We went to like this strict, very private college, and people who sat on the same side of a booth, we called them same-siders. Versus sitting like across from each other, they would just be sitting so close on the same side of the table. So a whole seat.
Then it's an international sign of we're dating.
Yeah.
The strict school, you're not.
But I like to have that same mindset when I go into an issue. Like, let's get on the same side of the problem. We're going to be,
no wonder
elbow
you
to
feel that
elbow
way.
here.
Look at the way it looks in your side of the corner.
Because that's the validation they truly need. I know that my mindset behind this podcast was always be closing, but I like how you segue into...
I totally forgot.
That's all right. That's okay. We'll do ABC.
Always be validating.
ABB. ABS breaks. I need to get them fixed.
But that is a great point. And I think a lot of the angst you see when someone's like, hey, I got my first bad review, validate them. They had a bad experience. Cool. If you don't agree with the experience, it doesn't mean that you invalidate their experience.
I always say if someone is angry, anger is a feeling, right? Disappointment is a feeling, and those feelings are completely the other person's. You dictate those feelings. I can't say, no, your feelings are wrong, because what? They're yours.
Right.
So what I can do is I can say, how can I see what you're feeling?
Right. And does that mean 100% of the time that you validate someone, you're going to dissipate the situation? No. Somebody could be having a much worse day for other reasons, and it was just your number.
I like and how you were going to say a much
worse day. If you're having the baddest, the worstest of days and the baddest of times. I'm slightly under the weather, and your cat's hair is not helping.
Hey, he looks like just a pumper's neck.
Fuzz. How you doing, bud?
We doing it now. We did. Oh, he's shaking.
He's cool. Okay, come on. We got to get back.
Okay. All right.
So when it was funny. Someone in the group today. I don't want to call anybody out, so I'm not using names. Also, nor would I remember.
Think you know that.
Yeah. But they said I got a better review, but it was an honest mistake. Okay, so what you're inferring is that the person who left you the bad review is being dishonest. Yeah. That's the other side of that coin, and those phrases are very dangerous to use. Of course, it was a mistake, and I don't think anyone maliciously makes mistakes, right? Except for that ex-boyfriend that I was in therapy.
The whole thing was a mistake.
So it's important to say, oh man, that I could see how that would totally have messed up your event. Mm-hmm. Wow, that sucks, and I had a part of that sucking. I am I am the one who sucked. I had the worser stuff days. But it's so we say like, oh man, that really sucks. This is what I was told once. I'm actually pretty bad at doing this myself. But if somebody's sitting in a mud puddle, they don't want you to tell them how to get out of the mud puddle. They want you to sit in the mud puddle with them.
Yeah. Get on that. I got a little spot
like, you're gonna ruin my clothes. But that person wants to be listened to, and they want to be empathized with.
Yeah.
And
I think almost when you empathize with someone, they're so much more receptive to any help.
Yeah.
Or any, advice or any like, hey, here's how we can make this better, especially when you're in business, because they feel heard. If you were like, I don't see the problem. Now I got to get defensive. Where are my boxing gloves?
You force me. I have to defend myself, or you're calling me a liar.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not a liar, so it looks like I'm defending myself.
Yeah, to the grave.
It will build the hill. The hill I die on.
It'll be a 1-star review. I'm dying on this hill.
A lot of times you can kind of see these perfect storms forming if you step far enough back. If the person who places their order is kind of, curt, to the point, slightly difficult, it's an important sign to be, make sure that this goes off without a hitch. This could result in a...
I love matching my clients.
Energy?
Whatever the energy is. If you're saying like words like mauve, okay, I know that you are specific.
Yes.
And that is okay.
It's an important thing to you. A detail you've specifically said.
I have an order coming up next week, and she said, I don't care as long as it's baby girl themed. Okay, hey. Me and
Match the Angie.
I can do that. Like, I'll knock your socks off, but you're telling me that you're a very relaxed person and that you need things to get done. You're not necessarily going to be in the weeds with me dictating where the flour goes. You just need there to be a cookie with a flour on it.
I love it when Corey and I in the day job will onboard a client. Corey and I'll be like, what does this person actually want from us? I mean, we try to ask them that question, but if we have to guess ourselves, this person wants to just not have to worry about it. Okay, that you're going to be a certain. This person wants an ego trip. This person wants to, like that one. I want to annoy my ex-husband. Okay, so there's different motives. So when Corey can look at a client, what's this person want? They just want a party that's cute.
Yeah.
This person wants something very specific.
Want something very memorable. They want to be remembered when they leave this party.
Right. So you can kind of navigate people differently because not one size never fits all. Some people might be okay with the 55-year-old showroom and 2 chairs. Some people might want something really beautiful and lazy boys. You just, but you can kind of match the vibe, especially in the cookie decorating world, since the turnover is such short. We don't have brick and mortars, a lot of us. So you can kind of match their energy and make that specific experience very unique and customized to them.
Which, tying it back into the oil change place, I felt like my energy walking in there wasn't matched. I felt like I was a little bit of an annoyance. I was just, another oil change,
So let's make it the lesson. So what could here's the guarantees. They could not take your car today, probably not tomorrow, and they had no appointments for the rest of the week. What could they have done to salvage this oil change?
This is what she could have said. Hey, I am so glad you chose us. Unfortunately, a lot of people choose us, but we would love to take you on Monday. We have a spot for 9:30 with your name on it. Is that something that can fit into your schedule?
Yeah.
You would have
accommodating.
taken
You're
all of
just
my-
as valuable to me.
As the car that needs the new engine out back.
Right. Yeah. You're $60.
Yeah. So that I was kind of standing there, and we'll make another podcast about Always Be Closing, which is the ABC, the selling, which I love. That's how they trained us when we sold cars. It's sometimes uncomfortable, but it's a conversation need to be had, especially if you feel ghosted a lot. But she had the opportunity to close me. I don't like the fact that I even had to go somewhere, so that my body was there. The oil burning a hole in my car, but the money was burning a hole in my pocket even faster.
Right.
So,
but they had told you, come in, walk-ins welcome. That website should not have set that expectation. It already set Corey up for a negative experience and a negative perception of how this company is run. Yeah. Because the walk-ins weren't welcome.
But that you have so many people that are in line, hey, that is a good sign too. So tell me on it. I'm here.
Right? Right. And I know this lady was probably like, dude, it's 4. I don't know what time it was. It's 4. I'm about to close. I'm tired. But behind Corey's $60 is Nate's $4,000.
Yeah.
And
plus, I love recommending. I
how
love
many more thousands of dollars
recommending
are behind your great $60 experience? And that's, the person who's only ordering 6 cookies or the person who bought the 1 cookie from your farmer's market.
Yeah, the
Could be the
pre-sale.
biggest sale you did not see coming down the road.
And it's all about that being in the customer's shoes. Could that one pre-sale order be annoying? 1,000%. It could be you're almost at cap. You said you could sell 20, you're at 19, and that final person like, hey, I want that. They could be annoying, but that could be your biggest sales driver for the rest of the year.
Yeah. It's so funny. I was thinking about sugar cookie classes. This woman came in and she was such a perfectionist that she actually went probably 15 minutes over class time.
And she slowed down class.
Very slowed. Yeah, so I had to keep going the PowerPoint forward, backwards, so she could see it. And I thought, like, okay, well, she wants an experience here, so let's make it a fun one. But she's since come back and brought more than 4 people. She's come back almost 8 times herself.
Yeah.
That one inconvenience. Now she's the fastest person in class.
We taught her well. The thing is, though, that she has become an amazing referral source. Our marketing dollars are now spent towards everyone else because she has sold herself on it. So our marketing with her has gone, we have stretched that dollar so gosh darn far. To convert someone who is cold versus to convert someone who is warm, the amount of money expenditure between those two is
well, just look at it. If you put a pot of cold water on your stove, how long does it take to heat up? If you put a pot of hot water, how much short of a time does it take to heat up? That's what we say when we say cold and warm audience.
Yeah, so I was warm to that one spot because someone had recommended it. And I love to be recommended too, as much as I love to recommend. So I was slightly lukewarm walking in because someone had said...
So really, you just had to have a great experience. Their money, they were already getting your money.
They were going to get my money if they could just put me on the books. Mm-hmm. So that I was able to walk out and be able to schedule online with the competition just guaranteed it. But I know if I have a good experience tomorrow...
And here's the weird part, like the long-term effect is someone's going to recommend the 55-year-old shop again in this local group, and you're going to go out of your way to recommend the other shop.
I won't say anything about that shop, but I will recommend the one that was able to take my...
Because you'll say in your head, that wasn't a great experience, and I don't think that people should be referring it. So something to keep in mind, especially when you get those bad reviews or when you're getting, a little lazy. And it's easy to get lazy.
Yeah, you're talking to
the
twin lazy 1, twin lazy 2.
and it's always important to ask, what could I do better? What is my competitor doing better? And how can I learn from them? Mm-hmm. It's not malicious. It's not stealing intellectual property. It's creating an amazing customer experience. A great way to borrow from the best is to find these really high value, edible arrangement. I gotta mention it.
You love it.
But when you go to edible arrangement, it says, place your order today, pick it up today. Save $15 and come pick it up yourself. We'll have it today. We'll deliver it for you. Add some strawberries. It's very easy to get that thing balloon to price. Beautiful photography. I know exactly what I'm getting. I know exactly what it looks when I pick it up.
Straubs with chocolate on it.
Do I want a customized note? Type it in here.
Yes.
It makes it very easy to let that number get away from you. And then at the end, you're like, well, I don't want the little dinky one.
I'm willing to spend a little bit more.
Yeah, and it's pretty fantastic because it's so easy. It's so easy to continue to spend more. When you make it hard for people to spend money, they tend not to.
They fall right out of the funnel. You'll never know that you had a loss.
That's the unfortunate part. I wish we could know, I drove you away. And now I never know. But it's hard to realize that we're driving people away. I think if we realized more, if we got a report like these 5 people went to your website, got confused and left, then we'd be like, oh man, I need to actually focus on this.
I know that if you guys know I'm in the group, my main profile kept getting banned constantly.
Because you told people, hose your husband.
So then I created a new profile, but Facebook says, hey, we know that is a fake profile. It cannot be an admin on your cookie page. Okay, understood. I lose sales because I'm not responding as fast as I can because I don't get the notification on my phone. So downloading things like Business Suite, downloading the Jotform app, those things can help people not fall out of your funnel before you know that, because you'll be able to access them, quicker. You'll be able to respond faster.
That's a customer experience point.
Yeah, customer experience point. I had been moving the last 2 weeks, so I wasn't able to take any orders because everything was packed away. But I had a lady who messaged me, and I was like, oh, I'll get back to her. I didn't get back to her that day of. I got back to her the next day. But I couldn't have taken her order. I said, hey, I so appreciate you reaching out. And I would love the opportunity to earn your business in the future, but everything I have is packed away because we're moving. And she's like, oh, actually, I totally understand. I already booked with somebody else. But that was only 9 hours.
So it's a response rate. And it's actually pretty required. Like Google business profiles have a messaging feature. Yelp does it too. If you don't reply to people within a certain amount of time, they actually disable it because it's such a bad experience for Yelp and Google's end users. So to punish people who aren't quick in response times, they actually disable the whole feature altogether.
Be like, you said create boundaries, and that's why you have business hours. You're not constantly open.
All right. So it's just very interesting. And the question Corey and I are kind of constantly asking is, how can we make this experience a little bit better?
How can we make it easier for the end user to give us their money?
Like here's a great example of a hole in our marketing is people said, I just don't understand where to find these resources. Oh, Corey and I, that's a giant spotlight on somebody saying, you'll get more of my time, money, energy, and effort if you tell me exactly where I can find this stuff.
So Heather is redesigning our website.
And it is a ton of work.
It is.
But it is work that will result in a better user experience, which means for us in the long term, more Cookie College signups. And more people joining the Facebook group.
People staying in the group because they find it beneficial, because it's easy to access those resources like the lives or
the
free
membership
downloads.
directory. Yeah, the free stuff, the baking group. A lot of people are like, I didn't realize there was more than one group.
Yeah.
So that is something. Now I could say, well, you figured out, go check the pin post.
It's always been up there.
Right. But the pin post is pretty hard to navigate too, especially if you're in the comment section on a post you saw on your feed. You're actually out of the group and that stuff isn't very apparent. Now, if I can give you a website, if everyone can start linking back to this website with all these resources, I've made a better user experience.
Yeah. And on this website, on the main page, Heather has listened to the people. She's heard questions like, who are the twins? This website addresses exactly who the twins are. Nobody's. Just kidding.
I don't know.
But she's heard that people have said, I don't know how to find the lives. Okay, now you're going to have a direct access to the spreadsheet Heather made with a link to the live. This is how easy she's making it. People say, what is the Cookie College? Okay, now we have a video on there that's going to tell you exactly what the Cookie College is. Other folks, what are other people? How to sign up for a live. You're going to be able to sign up for it easy without having to click to a million places.
Right. And then you got to look at where people are like, I want to sign up for live, but I don't know how to teach it. Well, I have an autoresponder that when you sign up for a live currently, it teaches you how. But because they don't think that exists yet, I'm actually having people drop out of my funnel for teaching you guys Facebook Lives.
Yeah.
What would happen if I put that how-to video above the form to submit?
Oh, then people would be like, okay, I know what to expect here.
So look at the questions that people are asking you. Emily is teaching she's a psychotherapist.
Neat.
And she's teaching a Facebook Live on business and mental health.
Oh, I need to take that.
But she said, before I sign up, I actually don't know how to teach this. That's why I've been holding off on it. I said, well, submit the form. It'll give you an autoresponder with a how-to. But look at how many, Emily said it. How many people just never said it because they were like, well, I just don't know how to teach this.
So I won't even do anything.
Yeah, now what I can retool is I can say, that's a question that one person asked. That's about 10 other people who never asked it, but they had the same thought.
Yep.
If I can retool this, I can get more Facebook Lives that help create a better experience for you guys.
Yeah. So if you don't quite have a website yet, that's totally fine. On your Facebook page, is your pinned post explaining exactly who you are, what you are, where you service? Is your Instagram profile, does it say the area that you're located in? The more people that have to do stuff on their end is the more people that are going to fall out of the funnel. I don't have a ton of time to give you my money, but I truly do want to give it to you. So make it easy for me to hand over my money. And those are the things that Heather did a Facebook audit in the main group.
I did them in both.
Good luck trying to find it. But she went over an end user's perspective when they clicked your profile. Is your cover photo from March?
Have you
St.
never
Patrick's
changed
Day? Or from Christmas? That's a sign like your profile's kind of dead.
Is your pin post from a year ago and you forgot to unpin it, or did you think the information still applies?
Yeah, so she goes through that. I actually just edited mine from the feedback you did for somebody else. Oh, let me add that to it, which is fantastic. So always be in the mindset of your customers. How can I make it easier for them to hand me over some cashish?
Cashish. We all have money to spend. Well, not. I've been spending at a gas station. But
have you seen how much money I've spent this week?
You have been. Is this a cry for help? Is this a cry?
I have spent so much money. And it's always the easiest people who make me be able to spend it. Take it. Make me not have the time to regret it.
Don't let anyone have the time to second guess.
Don't let me, because I will.
Yeah.
Guess who called me the tired people this week?
Oh, after the 3 podcasts ago?
Yeah, remember the
scraped tires?
Yeah, call me this week. Hey, we heard you wanted to schedule.
Ah. No.
I spent it on furniture.
That thing's been on a kitty circle that cleans itself out. Okay, back into the group as we move this podcast along. The next up, we would like to talk about the past lives that we've had in the group.
We had some good.
Yeah, actually, yesterday, poor Jessica Wolf was having Facebook was pretty glitchy in Facebook Lives yesterday. So much that I had to teach a class in the college and had to re-push it out. It was just lying to me that I was live, but I was talking to myself. It's a typical night. So she had to do this 3 different times, but it's pre-sales planning ahead using Google Sheets. Jessica's really into this high automation thing. She's in the cookie college, just taking every class.
She's really sleek.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm going to make that funnel so short.
Yeah, and that's pretty awesome. Bookkeeping Basics with Wave Financial with Andrea Forte, who is a bookkeeper. So you're learning from the source themselves.
Yeah.
These are all past lives. You can watch them already. Intro to Canva for Graphic Design with Meredith Martin. And then Cookie Contracts, the legal side. And that was taught by a lawyer. So you guys aren't missing. I mean, if you haven't listened to those, you are missing.
You are.
Here are some lives that I added yesterday. Bake Along Royal Icing Transfers with Alondra.
Yes, I
Mercado.
cannot wait for that one.
Alondra does the cutest things. The photo she sent me was golden dinosaur T-Rexes.
Yeah, so she makes all those as transfers, paints them, puts them on the cookie. She has no gold transfer from the thing to the thing.
How much does this cost me to listen to or watch?
Hey, it's actually called a free source because it's a free resource.
Wow, where would I access it?
You, as of right now, before the website goes live, can find it in the top section of the main group. It will show events. Sometimes it takes a few seconds to populate. I know mine sometimes has glitches, but you can click events. It will show you the current ones, but if you scroll down a little bit, you can find the past ones.
Very nice. Next up, we have setting up a Zola account to get wedding orders with, again, Jessica Wolf. So Zola, I didn't know about this until yesterday when I had to set up the event. Mm-hmm. Zola is a place that give you free credits when you create an account, and then you get leads. Every time you reply to a lead for a wedding inquiry in your area, it uses up some credits.
Interesting.
So apparently some people are saying they had a great experience with the platform and these free leads up until the point at which you then pay.
Nice.
But it's another lead source, especially if you're getting into weddings.
Yeah.
The Business of Mental Health with Emily Smith, who is a trained psychotherapist. I'm saying that right?
Yes. What would you? How else would you say?
She knows what it's
I
like.
think I can work into trained psycho.
And then we have that Christmas in July. That will be in July. Gingerbread Houses. I know Corey's doing a Christmas collab in July.
Christmas collab.
I also does Christmas in July where we have to get everyone like a skincare product.
Yes. If you don't know me, I love me some Christmas. The tree goes up.
And they ain't come back down.
The tree goes up. I like to tell people after Thanksgiving, but it goes up November 1st.
You're a wild man. When does it come down?
Maybe March.
You might as well just leave it up at that point.
I was going to, but I had to move.
Okay, so that takes us through the Facebook Lives. What else do we have, Corey?
We
are
the champion.
Let's go through our sponsors. I'm sorry, I don't have the script pulled up, and Corey's floundering over there. I don't know what you're doing, man.
I'm floundering.
Who are Spances? I know you mentioned Cast Iron. Cast Iron is website platform. So I tell people, back to our original thing, if you don't have your products easy to browse, you're losing additional sales.
Yes.
What website was I on the other day? I was on some clothing website.
Were you shopping without me?
I didn't buy anything.
Red.
But when I clicked, I think it was Ann Taylor. I had gotten targeted in an ad.
Oh,
Cutest little business outfits I don't need because I'm dressed like a slob. But in my mind. So I click on the skirt that I liked, but in the ad, a lady was walking around with a nice shirt.
Yeah.
When I scrolled below the skirt, knowing that Ann Taylor has it kind of dialed in, it said, shop this look.
Yes.
It upsold me on not just the skirt, but a matching shirt, a matching cardigan, matching jewelry, and matching shoes. I didn't buy any of this, but I'm saying the user experience of this is that I didn't have to go hunting for that look.
Yeah.
They had already upsold me on it. Cast Iron does that for you as well. So you can set your products in there and people can upsell themselves. And the more you kind of connect those two, the more, when you go and it's, Chewy, I had to order Phoebe some healthy cat food.
Yeah.
And it was like, hey, for $5 more, you get free shipping.
Oh,
and I'm like, well, I'm on a hunt for something. Something's getting bought.
My husband, Nate, as you well know him, came downstairs and I have to figure out how, if you have tips on this, how to arrange cookie cutters. One, post it on the baking group so Heather doesn't delete it. But how do we arrange cutters? Because here's the thing. In my mind, I have this box. So I was like, I'll put them in each box. Like, so baby shower cutters will go in one. But in my mind, you could do a rainbow baby shower theme. Okay. But that rainbow can also just be a rainbow by itself. We're in the future, Corey's mind, where am I going to look for the rainbow? Teacher appreciation, apples. But does apples belong in the food category or does it belong in the teacher category?
This is why you have duplicate cutters. Bam.
Bam.
Solved.
Oh, yeah. So my husband walks down and I'm like having this like inner argument with where to put this apple cutter. And he said, just curious about how much is each one of those? Mind you,
Don't do
there's
that.
4.
That had math. 1, nobody's good at it. 2, no.
And I was like, hold on, let me do the math. Just buying time.
Did you
at this
add
point.
that Heather prints a lot of these for free? Did you
said,
add that part?
I said, I
knew
did.
you would
And
do
I
that.
said, metal ones are a lot cheaper too. Some people just gave me. And he said, I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
It almost made it more steadfast to find the total.
Yeah. Well, what did you end up deciding for the storage? And why are we talking
I think
about
he
your cutter
decided a
storage?
divorce. I need to know
I
how
said
you-
storage, but divorce is okay.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to come home to divorce papers.
Okay,
Next is, it is a meringue powder. I absolutely love it. It is a meringue powder from a place called Bakety Bake, but the meringue powder is actually called Royal Batch.
what'd you come?
Royal Batch is an awesome, it actually is the meringue powder. It already has white food coloring, vanilla flavoring, and corn syrup in it. So it actually saves you money on that. What I have come to notice between other meringue powders that I have used, when I make it into royal icing and I leave it sitting out. So best of intentions, I was going to decorate, life happened, I'm going to have to decorate tomorrow. It takes so much longer for the Royal Batch to separate in the icing bag than
Nice.
it does for other ones. So
Nice.
I can have that delay without having to, because time is money, have to cut it open, rebag, remix, and then redo it all again.
The worst.
But use code TWINS, TWINS, capital, I think, and save 10% on checkout.
Last but never least is Eduardo Eddie, the edible direct-to-food printer is pretty darn neat. It prints directly on food. You heard that correctly. I'm not lying
That's
to
a
you.
lot
It
of
is
corrects
FDA
there.
approved.
Said correctly about 4
If your peanut butter was taken from your grass because it has an E. coli scare, which
Heather had it.
yams, I've been snacking on the one container.
I did not. Been
Really,
healthy and
I
happy
gotta
over here.
steal. Because I have not been
That's why you're
affected
sick
by it.
right now. Got it. Okay.
But Eddie is by Primera Printing Company. Really a fantastic company. They released a new update for the machine that, I gotta say, they listen to customers.
They are
We
constantly
were just
listening.
talking about their customer service. And Corey brought up a great point. A lot of times you buy a product and if it doesn't work, you maybe can like return it. And
You grumble to
maybe
yourself.
There's no assistance, like asking for help. People are like, no.
A few silent curse words.
Yeah, and then you're stuck with this like less than savory product. Primera, we were saying like, how cool is it that a product created a Facebook group around the product so you could actually get legitimate help with issues and stuff. They can listen to your belly aches like mine.
Primera has one of, in the industry is what they said, one of the longest hours of customer service. From open to close, they have one of the longest times you can actually reach them. And they created the group, which we highly recommend you join, that you can actually reach even Primera people who are maybe off hours just perusing on Facebook, or other people who have bought the products, who have been through whatever issue you're having that can help you fix it. So I just thought it was super neat that they stand behind the product so much that they allow you to.
Yeah, Primera is constantly pushing. It's so funny because when they came out with the product, if you read the owner's manual, it's like a 3-inch circle cookie.
That's what they
That's
really
what it was
thought
made for.
us cookiers were going to really
So
use it for.
people went and pushed the product beyond what he's warranted for, and then Primera keeps meeting you with updates to allow Eddie to sustain what you're pushing him
Yeah.
to. And there's a little bit of an overlap where people push him too far, and there's no update yet, and there's some problems. But I gotta say, Primera handles it amazingly.
Yeah, they're
They'll
always-
put you with a level 3 service
Yeah,
tech.
I know.
The person who knows Eddie inside and out and everything about him. And I thought I was like, oh, that's good. But anyways,
Yeah.
they pushed out a new update. It should correct a lot of problems, but everyone's working together to kind of figure out how to
push
Eddie
him next.
Poor
Yeah.
Eddie. He's the only man that's ever been a character.
So definitely check out their Facebook group if you want to see a group and see what people are doing. Someone was printing on Mentos.
Yeah.
I thought that was
It's
super
crazy.
neat.
Donuts is coming. And
Yes.
then, the wafers that you
Wafer
put,
paper, yeah.
it's
People were
pretty-
doing that floating in coffee.
Yeah. And it was pretty neat. Oh, you know what I did this weekend?
What?
I went to Virtual Bake Fest.
You went to where?
Bake Fest.
Oh, I heard about it.
Honestly, the branding was that's what caught my
It's
eye.
cute, yeah.
It was so cute. They used a platform called AirMeet. I'm not sure if it's based on Airtable, but it was pretty cool, like
Okay.
the event platform. But I honestly it did get away from me. I'd heard about it, but when I went to buy the ticket, they only had the one last high end ticket.
Yeah,
but I get
VIP.
I get 12 months to rewatch the classes.
Hold on. Is it?
But yeah, but guess who the speaker was?
Who?
the keynote was the Baked by Melissa lady. Melissa.
Didn't you mention
From the ads.
Yes. Wait, what is she? Oh, she had the
She did
cutest
cupcakes.
Yeah,
Those little baby cupcakes.
thing. Yeah.
It's like, it's pretty neat. It's like meeting like a celebrity. She had one thing that I thought was a pretty interesting perspective. She's kind of, somebody had asked, like, how do you know if you're because she'd said, I started in my apartment. People just kept asking me to make cupcakes. And someone's like, that, did you have the law? Did you do the...
Yeah.
She's like, no, I absolutely broke the law. I had no idea I was breaking the law, but she's like, nobody's going to throw you into prison. That was what she said.
Okay.
And she's like, yeah, so just do it and figure it out. And somebody will be out there to help you. But you're not going to land in prison. You could end up with a fine. But if that's your worst case scenario?
Yeah. For killing somebody.
But I like that prerogative
Yes.
of just do it, and rather than overanalyze and never do it. And look at her. She's got this huge company.
We also have a live on LLCs in there, I think, somewhere.
Yeah, there's 2 lawyers who taught lives.
Yeah, so if you need some idea.
To us. They said they're not your lawyers either.
Okay, so what's your twinterest? What are you interested in twin?
Okay, so there is a minimalist guy. He just released a new book. I'm going to say, love the dude to death. Dry as sourdough bread left out 3 days.
Oh, like a crouton?
Maybe that's even a little too soft. But he just released a book called All That Matters.
Okay.
It's dry. It's dry. But I like the concept. And he says, like, things are holding us back, both, financially, accolades. If you don't like your job, why don't you like your job? Why aren't you doing something you do like? And
I gotta make that cash man.
What?
I gotta make that cash man.
What are you saying?
Sleep in
Like,
his bed.
but you want the money so you can pay
Yeah.
for the stuff you shouldn't have bought in life, and you're not happy.
Don't call me out like that.
All right. So I went through my closet and I donated half of my closet. It's probably still too much stuff. Not that I'm trying to like live with nothing, but I'm trying to live with only the things that add value, not any redundancy.
Okay.
So I was telling Corey, like, I have 2 black ballpoint pens on my desk right now.
Are they there now?
Yeah, he's right there.
I
And then
see.
he's right there. Then I say I don't need 2 black ballpoint pens. Perhaps I could maybe use up one in a whole year. But the other black ballpoint pen I could donate to somebody who doesn't have a ballpoint pen.
It was a lot black ballpoint pen.
Well,
That was
I don't know.
5 times fast.
I don't know.
What if you lose the one and you now need the other?
Can I go? Okay, but now look at this. Now this Gams has a bunch of pens upstairs.
Yeah.
I'll never be without a pen. And I also can go to
So
Walmart.
you're letting her have to hoard for you.
So the other minimalist, the Minimalist podcast, they have a BYOP parties.
Bring your own
plate.
pen.
No. So he said, like, everyone buys enough plates to feed a small army. Like, but really in your house, there's 3 people in your house. You
Got a
only
lot of
need right, however many plates. But he says, so a lot of people are like, but what if somebody comes over? Well, bring your own plate. And then they'll have these bring your own plate parties.
So what is it? Oh, potluck. Potluck of plates.
Yeah.
Plate.
So you bring your own plate, and then you can plate it yourself, and then you can take wash your plate there and take it
so
home.
funny watching
Right?
everyone leave with their plate.
Like a plate. Nice little gold figure.
Where'd you get your plate?
But that's it. But I thought it was just an interesting. Your cat looks like a rat.
Hey, Lolo.
Well,
Okay,
anyways,
my
that's my
twin
thing. So Corey's a hoarder. I'm trying not to be.
Someone has to
What?
wait for you. I have a lot of your stuff. In the
What?
basement.
I know.
We'll be back.
When do I have to go get
that? We said next Monday.
Tuesday.
I have to be out of it by the 1st, which I think is Tuesday. Oh yeah, Tuesday we can do.
Okay.
Mine is
I'm sweaty. I don't know what's in your basement, Mel.
It's not that much.
Okay.
You have some weird stuff in there, like
Okay.
a motorcycle helmet.
I need to donate it.
A weird backpack.
I'll donate it.
A lot of boxes when you were going through your box phase
Got
of
it rid of
saving.
them. Why? Why?
I don't know.
Why?
But it took up a lot of good space.
Okay,
Man.
one, it used to be cleaned out. I'm not sure what happened, but your hoard blocked in my hoard. And there were hoard brothers.
Okay, my thing is I have 2 cats. Fuzz Aldrin, Ruby Kitty. Rube and Fuzz for short. Fuzz'em, Ruby. But I was scooping their poo-poo the other day,
Oh, gross.
and I said, you know what? There's got to be a better way. And my older
You're going to
sister,
recommend this Ever Loving.
I'm not recommending it. I'm going to tear it apart and hopefully return it in 90
Okay, I've been
days.
getting targeted in the ad, so you must have been looking it up recently. Because like, why am I getting targeted in cat ad?
So it's like this orb.
What's it called?
huge.
The
Cat orb?
no, it's got a cooler name.
Corb? Like, you want to look it up?
Yeah. So, anyways, it's apparently your cat goes to the bathroom and this little circle turns around and cleans it out.
Litter robot.
Oh yeah, cat orb.
So the little robot is this giant orb-like thing. Looks like it's from outer space, but it literally collects your cat's pee-pee in a little bag underneath. Oh my goodness.
He's getting
my cat's getting into a box. He's so cute. It collects it and it puts it in a little baggie ready to go. It's supposed to cut down on any smells because I hate the smell, and it cuts down on the work because this robot is doing it. I hate the work. I love the cats.
I'm so curious if that is worth
There's a
it.
90-day return policy on this bad boy, and he is not cheap, nor am I sponsored. So I'm going to tell you exactly what I love and hate about it when it comes in. One, I already know. I think my cats are going to be scared of it because it is a machine.
Oh, that was so. My mom has one. All the family has this cat orb.
Yeah.
But my mom's cats won't use it.
2 of them will.
Well,
and
then you
one
might
of
as
them
well not
won't.
have
Yeah, because then you still have to
It
do
literally drove the one that doesn't to poop on the floor.
Literally.
Ali. Stay tuned for more cat things.
So this cat orb is my new thing. Well, I'll tell you how it goes. And if it's even worth your sniff at.
I wouldn't wonder if it was. Sorry, I did not check the text. It's because there haven't been any because nobody likes us anymore.
Oh, because we never even read the phone number last time.
Oh, yeah. What's the phone number? Do you know it? Do you know it?
No, I think
you
it's
don't.
a lot of 6s.
It is 571-556-5644. Let's see if anyone bothered to text us. Shay, thanks for telling me how your name is pronounced. She said, "Hi, Heather and Corey. Thank you so much for creating this group and the podcast. I'm playing catch up and I still have many more to listen to, but I've learned so much from you already. Thanks a million. So my question is, I was reached out to by a local TV station who would like to promote my business on their morning show next week. He said he found me on Facebook and would love to interview me and learn more about my small home-based business. I would have about 4 minutes of airtime to talk about me and my business, but that sounds like an eternity to someone terrified at public speaking and in front of a camera. Please help. What pointers should I hit and what are some not to do and say? Thank you so much for any help you can give me to calm my nerves. You two are my favorite twins and keep up the good work." Aww. Shay, awesome question. So she is going to be featured on the Monday morning news station. Enough cookiers in the group have been featured on these that I know they're a great opportunity.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
Like a huge
Especially
opportunity.
if it's local, man.
I'm going to say branding is awesome. Hair did, nails did, everything did in an apron.
Apron or a shirt with your logo on it, because
Yes.
brand awareness, just seeing that logo, make sure it isn't a small logo. I know a lot of times I'll just put a small logo. If they allow you and ask, make sure you get that logo pretty big. And
If you don't have time to print the logo, if you have a Bakery Tico shirt with a funny pun on it that's baking related, that'd be nice. That'd be cool, right?
that would be cool. I know you should ask before you get on there because sometimes they have weird
Right,
things.
some rules. Yeah.
Yeah.
So definitely dress code. If not, a cute apron is a way that screams, "I'm a baker."
Yeah, and definitely bring cookies for the cast.
Oh, that's a good one.
I saw
Now,
that.
when you talk about Corey and I always like to talk about how can we talk about others? How can you talk about how your business relates to the town? Is what got you started? Is there something inspiring in your town that you can connect this back to? What we kind of like to stay away from the I's, the me's,
Yes,
and make it about everybody else.
So if you participated in a fundraiser, if you sponsor a local elementary, high school, something like that, if you were able to participate in making someone's day, that would be a great way to, 1, feel good, 2, make it not about you, and 3, create that brand awareness.
Now, I'm going to say this. Corey and I have, in our day job, recorded people. The people who do best in front of a camera are the people who've practiced many, many times in front of a mirror and their cell phone. It is so awkward. It is so awkward to record yourself and watch it back.
It is.
But I cannot begin to describe to you, if you write out a script, which Corey and I do if we have to talk in front of people, bless poor Cookie Con, and then run through that script over and over again in front of husband, wife, kids, strangers, your cell phone, and re-watch it.
This is actually what you can do. If you want to create a little tiny fake group, you can make it private. You can go live in that fake group just by yourself, and then you can rewatch it. It will show you how you might feel like your face is so smiling, but you can rewatch it in this live, and you'll be like, it looks like I'm like stone cold killer here. And then you can actually practice that way. Like, are your hand gestures small and by your side? Can you make them larger so you seem more receptive and more open?
Something we find is that if you have the energy, it will grow to other people. If you don't have the energy, it won't.
Yeah,
So,
if you don't sound passionate about your business.
and in the dead time, when somebody's asking you the question, awkwardly still smile.
Because people are looking at
Yeah,
you.
they're not looking at the presenter. They're looking at your reaction to the presenter's question. So practice saying like, hey, thank you so much for having me on the air today. Smiling. And hold the smile and keep it genuine. Almost think about a really positive experience. I know your nerves can get to you, but enough practice and enough awkwardly rewatching yourself, you'll be like, I'm so glad I did that.
My last one is to always know where the lens is.
yeah.
The way that we're watching you is we are in the lens eye. That's is what it's capturing. That's what your end user is seeing. So if you're looking at the guy beyond the lens, your eyes will look like you're looking past us. And I won't be able to connect with you like you're looking straight at me. So we always tell anyone that we're doing videography for, hey, I'm going to stand right behind the camera, annoyingly so you can't see my face. Because that's where I need you to look. The lens is your audience. You want to look right into the lens. Never look right or left at people because your end user is those who are watching you on their
You know what's
television.
a great way to practice that? If you take a selfie and you notice that your eyes are always looking at the shutter, you have to train your eyes to look up where the camera is on your cell phone.
I went live on my Instagram stories
Yeah,
yesterday.
I saw that. Even I had to tune in, but you had already stopped it. It was 3 seconds.
It was in a minute, 38 seconds. But I saw, because it popped up this little thing, and I looked down to see what it was saying. And when I went and rewatched it, I said, oh, yeah, I'm not even looking at
You gotta look at that selfie thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
And it feels awkward until you do it enough, and then suddenly it's like, wow, that looks so much more natural. So I would even encourage you, if the interviewer asks you a question, to look back at the camera to answer it and not at the interviewer.
Amber Heard constantly looks towards.
You know what they're calling Amber Turd?
No, people. No, we don't.
Okay.
We are until the jury is out.
They're actually down the street. in
Yeah, they
Fairfax
are
County.
down the street. So our little sister went and drove past the whole thing, and people were just waiting outside. It was crazy. Someone was dressed as a llama.
They're
But
bringing actual llamas. No,
that's insane.
they're so cute.
If Fairfax
They're
would
so
allow
cute.
that,
on the sidewalk outside,
they
the
would
camp.
still allow that.
Yes, in the pictures, and he is so cute. He's got a haircut where it's only at his head that he has hair.
That's so cute. But she turns towards the jury, and I know that her lawyer said turns toward the jury because it makes you more relatable. So she's not talking to the lawyer. The lawyer isn't deciding her fate. She's talking to the jury members.
Way to make this real dark.
Real dark.
Yeah,
It's all over TikTok, man.
I know, I can't help but watch it. It's sucked me in like 30 times. Drama. We're addicted to it. Thanks so much for texting in, Shay, the only one who did it.
Please.
If you'd like to do that, it's 571-556-5644. No one answers. No one texts
Guess who
you back.
checked the mailbag yesterday? Moi.
And what was there?
No.
Yeah.
The
Nobody
mailbag
cares.
is you checked it last week. I checked it 2 weeks ago. You checked it last week. I checked it this week. We've been so on top of
You've been pretty good. You've been pretty good.
On top of the mail. There was some cookies to eat. Mail
I
address.
destroyed.
Yes. Yeah. Can I address that?
It's not what do you call it? South Leon, Michigan.
It's South Lion. Okay, South Lion sent some awesome cookies, and Heather said, "Yeah, you want to split them?" I said, "Yeah, I want to
Corey
split
forgets
them."
to take her halvesies. I've been
Where is
snacking
it?
on them.
Is there any more?
Absolutely.
Are you kidding me?
No. I have no shame in my game, man. I've been living off these.
Did you even think about me while you're eating?
I said, oh, look, Corey left her house. Okay, that takes us up to the podcast. Thanks so much for dealing with my sensual voice
dealing with Heather in general. Thank
I
you.
gotta say thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate your tolerance.
Thank you for going through what I've gone through for the past 30